There are themes, obviously, but in one sense, and I only half jokingly said this, Ken has made the same film all his life. One film, he's made one film, it's just been in different places. You know, it's got this similar message, it's got the same kind of level of humanity, and I applaud it. There are some artists who skip from one style to the next, to something else, to something else, and something else. And there's a few directors and a few artists who keep coming back to doing a self-portrait. Ken is that type of artist. He does the self-portrait. He expresses himself in a similar way over and over again. He doesn't flit around. He's not someone for changing his political views or believing in another style or, you know, trying something else. He's very much classical, old school, which is a great thing to learn, I've got to say. This is not any way of a criticism. That kind of discipline is really worth learning. You know, what is a good frame? Even if that frame is moving, is it, going back to my art school, it's always based on the golden section and balance and a true observation. The technique remained the same. He had a method of, if you had 6 lenses, you also had one camera height, top of the legs, eye level. You don't ever drop the camera down or raise it up high. You know, you would see through a window if that was the point of view. That's a high shot. You look up at a building, that's a low shot. But they're always from human perspective. And the lenses, the reason for not going wider than your field of view is because that dehumanizes the content. So once you've stuck to that rule, you've got the camera position, you've got the lenses, the rest of it is about the ability to put yourself in the right place. Chris Menges taught me this is really brilliant thing. Hand holding isn't running around chasing the subject. Putting yourself in the right place so the subject comes to you. And that's a very Ken Loach thing as well. It's, if you're in the right place and you've got a fixed lens, people get bigger when they come towards you, and then when they walk away, they get smaller. And that's a kind of philosophical view of the world, you know. And Wind That Shakes the Barley was probably the 7th or 8th film or something I'd done with Ken. I'd very much learned all of the vocabulary. I'd learned very early on that you can't bring a light into the room, because he would go like, don't you think that's a little bright, don't you think? And you go, right, Ken, get the camera. Yeah. You know, so I knew everything you have to do in those films has to look like it's from a real place, you know. I've got to say, with Wind That Shakes the Barley, I think it's the most beautiful of the films I did with Ken, because even from the very beginning, when I first met him, he talked about doing the Irish film, and it is his kind of masterpiece. It's what he wanted to say for so long, and he managed to get to say it. And I think he gave me a little leeway, and I occasionally did sneak in a little Kino Flo and dressed in a drain pipe and just got that into the scene occasionally. You know, like towards the end of Wind That Shakes the Barley, he's writing a letter telling you why he would never give up the struggle for the United Ireland, and it's a little oil lamp, and he's in a prison cell. There's a little touch, a little hint of a light that I managed to sneak into the room, and I know Ken saw it, but was prepared to let that go because he wanted it to be the most powerful film he'd made, I suppose. Yeah.